Welcome to Indiana Sports Beat Radio, brought to you by the Hard Truth Distilling Company in Brown County, Indiana.
So for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, it's time!
Three on the way. Oh! It went in! It went in! And Indiana wins the ball game!
Know your role and shut your mouth, you jabroni!
Float game for the win! Ayla's gone. Goodbye. Touchdown, Indy. Woo! IU. America. They got a football team now.
It's pretty simple. I win. Google me.
You know that I'm the cream of the crop.
Now, from the Hard Truth Studios, here's Jim Coyle.
Hey, everybody. Welcome aboard to another edition of Indiana Sports Beat Radio. As you can see, coming to you on location, I am down at the incredibly beautiful Pete Dye Golf Course at Fritz Lick Resort today for the Korn Ferry Tour Media Day. The Korn Ferry Tour, if you're not a golfer, is the first step down from the PGA Tour, and here at Fritz Lick and the Pete Dye course, they have held this championship now. This will be the second year, and they have another 4 years that it will be here. Pretty big event to have here in the state. And I know that Indianapolis just had the LIV event, the LIV golf event, which I know that's those are cross organizations. But if you don't think golf is popular in Indiana, the LIV event had the largest attended event that they have had in America on American soil thus far. So that was up in Indianapolis last weekend, by the way. So there's that. But we're here for the Korn Ferry Tour, and the featured speaker today at the press conference is last year's winner, who's from Bloomington, and unfortunately for Indiana fans, he went to Purdue. But that's quite all right. Purdue, long known for having a pretty daggone good golf program. They have two of the most incredible golf courses they have had, two for a long time. Indiana, within the last 4 years, now has the new course there, and the foul course, which is stunning and ranked very, very high, higher than the. It's one of the highest collegiate courses in the country, if not a number one. I know it was in the top four. Yeah, the old, yeah, there you go. Yeah, Brian. Korn Ferry. Check it out. But, yeah, and looking forward to that and hearing from him. So, as I look down to get a little more information on him, there we go. I did not have that before, but looking forward to that. Mike Decourcy will join us today, and we will be talking, of course, if you haven't seen it, it came out over the weekend, I think, the Big Ten, and they didn't want this out. They wanted, or they are batting around an idea of a CFP playoff with between 24 and 28 teams, which now we're getting up there. Just at 24, you're doubling what was there last year. For one thing, there's no way that you could have a team complaining or a league complaining. Well, there will always be complaints. That's not true. Whoever is 25th will be complaining. But that's kind of radical. But the funny thing is, if you want to be honest, it would probably eventually get there regardless. So, maybe it's better just do it now, get there, get it over with, instead of this, incrementally. Look where we've been for the last 20 years with the college football championship. It used to be just the two voted, whoever was voted in. And that was the way for a long time. Well, before that, it was who was just voted, who people voted. The AP voted them number one. There didn't even have a championship. Then it got to 2 teams. Then we went to 4, which was nice, but still it wasn't quite it. You got to 12, and especially in this day and age with the transfer portal, with NIL, there are all these sports have kind of leveled out as far as talent, as teams that are good. Now in football, it's going to be, I think you'll see less. Well, obviously you're going to see less upsets than say in basketball, of course, where anybody on a given day could knock anybody off. But that is an idea that they'll have to deal with the SEC. But I don't know that the SEC is going to hate it, because they're going to get a ton of teams in, which is all Greg Sankey cares about. So that should satisfy the SEC. We'll talk to Mike about that. I'm sure he'll have his opinions on it. Because we recently were talking about expansion of the men's basketball tournament, which we don't need. And that is currently tabled at the moment. But Patrick Nickel from Bloomington, the Korn Ferry Tour champion last year, here today speaking, played at Purdue, but we'll give him a talk. Dave Harner, the director of golf for like 49 years here at French Lake, and is an amazing guy. He is. You want to talk? If this is, I consider this place Oz, and I know you can't. If you're following along on YouTube, you probably can't see the background because of the contrast, but this is one of the most beautiful golf courses in the United States, inland, especially inland with no ocean. This thing is immaculate. It is green virtually year round. It is gorgeous. It is treacherous to play. I tell everybody the same thing. Not that I'm great, but this is an easy course as any, if you keep it in the fairway. That's the deal. But you get off of some of these fairways, baby. If you're a golfer, you've never seen anything like this. So it's crazy, but absolutely stunningly. I call it God's golf course. And that's what it reminds me of. It's one of the highest points in the state of Indiana, by the way. We're here in Orange County at French Lick Golf and Resort at the Pete Dye course right now, where, as I said, the media day is going on today. And also Brendan Sweeney, the head of all media for French Lake Golf, will be back here in a little bit to join me. He's been on plenty of times before. This dude is... well, first of all, he's great, incredible, but he is what a personality. He should have his own show of some kind. They could just follow him around. But yeah, all this. And if you're a golfer, this has to be a bucket list stop for you. Like I said, it is gorgeous. It is challenging. And you've got the Donald Ross course just up the road a little bit, which is also part of French Lick Golf. But that's where they had a major there back in the early days. And that course, I hate that course because it's too hard for me, because I can't haven't been able to putt the last time I was there. It's just very challenging, but it's a great golf course. Trust me. This one here at Pete Dye, unbelievable. I would love to play this course barefooted, just walk around with no shoes on. Everything is always so lush and gorgeous. And if you are a golfer, you have not played French Lick, and I know people say, well, it's expensive. Well, this is a professional level course. They've had the LPGA here. They've had the Korn Ferry Tour now for the second year in the championship, which comes up in October. So, and we'll talk more about that with Brendan Sweeney when he joins us here in a little bit. And Coach will join us a little later when Mike Decourcy joins us, so we can have that conversation as well. in regards to the Big Ten, their idea of the college football playoff expansion. I would really have to put the pen and paper to it. 24 teams, basically the top 25, but not necessarily the top 25, because they're part of this structure is eliminating the conference championships and turning those into a play-in sort of deal where, say, the Big Ten's top 6 teams have a play-in to make it in, that, or that may be a completely different idea. But then the SEC or someone in the SEC said, well, if you're going to do play-ins, maybe it would be better if you had SEC versus Big Ten play-ins. Well, but why those two? There's other conferences involved here. But if you're having play-ins, again, well, what's the difference? Just make it part of the stinking tournament. So there's that. Brent says that Lucas Oil has a partnership with Indiana now. Now, when you say Indiana, are you talking about Indiana University? In regards to that, I'm not sure. Lucas Oil does so much. They are, when it comes to racing, there's virtually nothing that Lucas Oil is not involved in, as far as the Hot Rod Nationals, all of those types of events, the funny cars, those drag strip cars, man, they are all over that. And started right here in Southern Indiana, by the way, Lucas Oil. And they have a golf course down was around English, Indiana. You might need to get a map out. It's west of Georgetown, which is just northwest of Louisville. But that's an incredible course. Talking to a friend of mine, Mark Helmer, the other day. They had gone down to Jasper and played the municipal course, and it was absolutely stunning. So Gritty says Lucas Oil is sponsoring the suites on the IU football field. There we go. Okay, that makes more sense. The new football suites on the south side of the stadium. And that brings me up, man. They have got, which I know that they know this, so I'm not saying something, but I'm just wondering, is there a current plan for stadium expansion that would include a new press box, etc. suites? Just that needs to happen on the west side of the stadium. And now when it's cold, people on the east side won't like that so much because that'll block the sun for the whole time. And when it's those first few games when it's hot, they would appreciate it. They would be shaded. They would be loving it. But those November games, not so much. Doesn't matter. That needs to happen. And is that all that needs to happen? I don't think so. Indiana's stadium, luckily, is really good looking. It's a good looking stadium with how they closed it in, but they eliminated the opportunity for having more seats. Now, I always sit there and I wonder, I look at it and I'm like, okay, how could they add seats? Well, there's a couple spots in each corner on the south end where the, that deck is, and they could also build above that deck. I can't remember if that would be below the scoreboard or not, but if there's room just above the deck, you could roof that and go back. But they need to add at least to where they can get 68,000 people, and right now they're maxed out at around 53. To get up to 68, of course, you're adding another 15,000. And I don't know how much the suites would even add as far as people. Maybe a couple thousand. I'm not really sure. I guess it would depend on how big you built it, but how big can they build it? Because this is a new thing, and getting people like Lucas Oil involved, huge for Indiana, because they're going to have to do that. You're going to have these corporate partners to do this stuff, especially when you start selling these suites. They're not cheap, but there is enough business in Indianapolis that will take care of that and other places. But if you're successful, if you build it, they will come. And right now, Indiana is successful, and there's nothing showing that that's going to change anytime soon. I'm interested to see what next season will be like. And I know that I'm jumping ahead. I'm not trying to do that in that regard. I'm wondering, okay, Fernando Mendoza may not be here next year. They'll have to go to yet a third quarterback, which I'm going to go ahead and assume that would be Alberto Mendoza. But so you would have yet a third quarterback, and then they would lose. They're going to lose some talent next year. You're going to lose Aiden Fisher. You're going to lose D'Angelo Pons. You're going to lose Mikael Kamara. You're going to lose Elijah Surratt. You're going to lose, I think, Omar Cooper Jr. You're going to lose. They've got 62% of their production coming back this year. Well, that won't be the case next year. Next year is going to be a telltale sign of the sustainability of Indiana's football program, in my opinion, because next year they're going to no longer have the JMU guys that came in to help really make this transition on defense very, very smooth. As Indiana had one of the top defenses in the United States last year in college. They had the top defense against the run. That's going to be interesting to see with the replacements, what they have done there. You still have Mikael Kamara on one side, but you lost a lot of guys, CJ West and Linnell Carr Jr. and some guys. So can they replace that? Offense should be better, like we've always said, but next year, again, you've got a lot of guys that are on their last year. What's that going to be like? That's going to require either you're developing some guys right now, and or you're going to have to hit that portal again. So Michigan, we'll revisit that. I mean, it's ridiculous to me. It's first of all, it's ridiculous to me that Jim Harbaugh is allowed to coach anywhere. He has obviously shown himself to be a person that it cracks me up. He used to talk about being a Michigan man, and there's a quote from him. Oh, it's you don't lie, you don't cheat, you don't steal, you don't this, you don't that. He did all of that knowingly, willingly, multiple times. He was suspended twice in the same year, I think. This is the fourth consecutive year Michigan's had a coach suspended to start the season, and then next year will be a fifth because Sharon Moore has another suspension coming next season already. And the fact that he's even allowed to coach blows my mind because he was a part of the cheating scandal. He deleted 57 text messages between himself and Connor Stallions, even though he was told not to do that. The entire staff did not cooperate. I cannot believe those people just weren't fired, because Michigan has always talked about how important that they are to this, that, and the other thing. I'm sorry. You cheated your ass off, and you didn't get away with it, but you got what you wanted out of it. And the one thing that the NCAA could not do was take away the national championship, because it was not an NCAA national championship. It was a college football playoff. So the NCAA does not run football anymore, which was probably a smart idea, because they're like, I call them, they're just an old dog with no teeth. But let me take a quick break. Appreciate you being with us. And no matter where or how you're listening on one of our great radio station affiliates like 97.7 ESPN, The Ref, always the right call in Evansville, where you can catch the IU games and plenty of others. I think they have Cardinals games and all kinds of things. Tons of sports there. Up in the region, on the voice of the region, 1230 AM, 104.7 FM, WJOB, and in Fort Wayne, on Fort Wayne Sports Station, 1380 The Fan. Keep it locked right where you have it. All day long, you're in the right place. More coming up from the Pete Dye Golf Course at French Lick as the Korn Ferry Tour Media Day takes place. We're back right after this.
Andy Moore Honda is Bloomington's #1 Honda dealer for a reason. Buy a new Honda and get a 3-month break from car payments. That's right, no payments for 90 days. That includes the all-new, all-electric Honda Prologue, and you get it for just 0.9% financing. Or the 2024 Honda Ridgeline Black Edition or the Honda Accord LX, both for just 1.9% financing. Get more to your door from AndyMooreHonda.com, Bloomington's #1 Honda dealer and your best place for new and used vehicles. If you're looking for a new home in the Indianapolis area, you need Cheryl Sizemore from Brick and Ivy Realty. Cheryl Sizemore has over 2 decades of experience, and that could be the difference in getting the home you want in today's tough housing market. Reach out to Cheryl at CherylSizemooreSells@gmail.com or 317-701-0838. That's 317-701-0838. Let Cheryl Sizemore sell or find your new home today. Located on 325 acres in beautiful Brown County, Indiana, Hard Truth Distilling Company is the biggest and the best craft distillery around. While Hard Truth is already known for producing internationally awarded whiskeys and spirits like Hard Truth's sour mash bourbons, sweet mash, and hard road ryes, as well as their cinnamon vodka and the always popular toasted coconut rum. Hard Truth Distillery offers so much more. With a full-service restaurant, ATV, and distillery tours, as well as live music, you can spend an entire day at Hard Truth Distillery while making your entire family or group happy. And that's the Hard Truth. Hard Truth products are available across Indiana, as well as many other states. So no matter where you shop, if they don't carry your favorite Hard Truth product, tell them you want the truth, the Hard Truth. Hard Truth Distilling Company encourages you to enjoy all of their products responsibly and to never drink and drive.
Welcome back, Indiana Sports Beat Radio, coming to you from the Pete Dye Golf Course here at the beautiful French Lick Golf and Resort. We're up on the hill here in Orange County, Indiana, and this is one of the highest places in the state, by the way. So, but the beauty here, just if you're just at French Lick, just being here is it's worth to come up and look at this place, the beauty. It's unbelievable. Kurt Signetti met with the media yesterday for his weekly presser, as his penultimate weekly presser before the season starts. Next Monday, of course, will be game week, as Coach pointed out to us, and he'll join us later as well when Mike Decourcy joins us for the discussion on the Big Ten's idea of expansion. That was not supposed to get out, by the way, but of course, it was leaked, and they weren't happy about that. They wanted to at least be able to talk about it before and contact the people and all that. So Brian points out Harbaugh will be paid $80 million by the Chargers. Yeah, why does he care? He's got an 8-year show cause. He's not coming back to college football. He might come back one day just to piss off the people, those that are outside of Michigan. And don't think that Ohio State fans are not just having a blast with this stuff. They are loving every minute of it and pointed it all out, baby. But Coach Sig had a presser yesterday, and let's hear what he had to say.
How you guys doing? Good. Okay, rolling right along here, making progress, but never satisfied, and that's sort of the theme right now. So let's open it up to questions.
Matt, on your left in this. Feel like a shirt on you. I guess a couple weeks now, a little less than 2 weeks away from the opener. Just kind of talk about the progress, but kind of where you at health-wise, and then just kind of how do you feel like you guys are progressing with it?
Yeah. Well, we're still in camp. We'll switch gears late in the week. So our focus is getting the offense, defense, special teams in, the situations that come up during a football game, improving players, creating depth, competition, who's going to be a 1, who's going to be a 2, and developing players all the way around, and improving our our practices, making them more clean. So I see a lot of improvement out there, but it's still not where it needs to be. And even when it's close, you can never be really satisfied if you want to be great. So, whoever's doing the best out there right now, and I don't know who that is, consistently over camp, I guarantee you one thing, he's not satisfied.
Yeah, Kurt, now that you've had almost a full offseason with Fernando, who does he remind you of quarterbacks? Who is he most like to the quarterbacks you've coached in the past? And where's he kind of taken the biggest step forward kind of this fall?
Well, they're all different people, so they're all different. And he's got a skill set, and you guys can evaluate his skill set during the course of the season. I'm not going to give away any secrets. Of course, everybody's watched his Cal tape, so they understand who he is. He's a big guy that's very mobile, got a quick whip, got good velocity on the ball, and can really drive it. So, he's done a nice job of learning the offense. And still not perfect, but nobody out there is.
Zach, and then Daniel.
You talked about, I guess in your words, your roster just never sort of being satisfied. How have you seen, especially guys in leadership positions, guys that have been around you and around success for a while, really approach this year in terms of just constantly pushing that ambition forward, constantly just sort of setting that bar higher?
Yeah, well, I think a lot of the guys that were around here last year and enjoyed success, whether they were with Indiana in 23 or came with me from James Madison or elsewhere, they're not satisfied. And they know what the expectation level and the standard is and how we do things. And every year you got new leadership. And, the best leaders lead through their actions, not their words. And they lead daily. And you got to earn it every single day. So we got a lot of good leader-type guys on this football team. You don't need too many chiefs. You got to have chiefs and Indians. But I like the sort of the potential for this team to develop kind of the intangibles that become important during the course of the season.
Daniel, in front of Zach B.
You mentioned in the spring on EJ, it was about not having lapses. You expected a huge year out of him. Have you seen him, have those strides from spring, to now, and just where does he kind of rank inside that wideout room?
Yeah, well, EJ's got a lot of talents, made plays. It's a matter of keeping them on the field. Got off to a little bit of a slow start in camp, but I've really seen him pick it up, probably since practice 4 or 5, become a lot more consistent. So he can be a playmaker, and we're going to need him to be a playmaker.
Zach B. in front of Jared.
You've talked about not wanting to sustain success, but improve upon it. How do you guys gauge improving upon success? How do you quantify that?
We don't really look at it that way. We don't look at a body of work from last season and try every day to improve upon it. We try to improve upon our yesterday's practice or the previous drill and today's practice or the previous rep, right? So, what we're really trying to do is improve our focus, our concentration, our urgency, our communication, how we react, respond, identify what's going on out there, technique, and then being able to turn it off and play the next play, rip off the rearview mirror and do it from first play of practice
6 through 12.
Hey, guess what? I was muted. Thank you very much. Sorry about that. You guys missed all of that.
Oh,
we
hey,
get to talk again.
good seeing you guys.
So that'll leave something for Tyler to edit out today. But Brendan Sweeney joining me now.
Hey.
He is the what is your official title? I know you're media, but
Director of Golf Media Relations.
There you go. And he has great relations with everybody. We're at the Pete Dye course at Fritz Lake Golf and Resort, and it is one of the most beautiful courses inland in the United States, and I mean that. And this place, it's located, it's not easy to get to.
Sure it is.
Well, I don't mean that in a bad way. I meant for it's not in a metro city, but my bigger point is it's packed all the time.
Oh my God.
People, you could probably move this place to the moon and it would still be packed. Today is Tuesday. The hotel is sold out.
Yeah.
On a Tuesday in October.
No, it's actually August.
I mean, August, right? I got the other thing. On a Tuesday,
we're sold
August.
out. We're sold out in October too.
See, I was right.
So right now we're booking. We're taking reservations for 2027 for golf. So if you guys are out there looking for a place for a buddies trip or a corporate meeting, get on the line right now and call French Lick.
I've told you, if you haven't played this course, or if you have, this is a destination place. And it's not just the Pete Dye course, which is stunning. Then you have the Donald Ross course, where is challenging. That's those greens. Woo!
Yeah. Donald Ross course built in 1917, host site of the 1924 PGA Championship, 5960 LPGA Championship.
Won by who?
Walter Hagen.
Walter Hagen, one of the founding fathers of golf, almost. You could almost say.
Yeah, but he went on a run. I think he won 4 PGA Championships, and that was his second one. So then he went over to Europe, won a couple of British Opens. He's just an amazing, what a character too. And back in the day in French Lick, I mean, this place had 13 casinos in town.
Really?
Oh yeah, it was trains were coming in from Chicago and New Orleans and St. Louis and Louisville. It was a booming place.
Well, I knew that back in the day that people were like Al Capone even would come down. That's the big story from Chicago. The bar at the Ross course, I was having this discussion with Fred last night. Did that come from the Chicago Mercantile or Stockyards?
Stockyards.
I was right.
They found it, and there's actually a notch in the bar with a little arrow in it. And it was supposedly that when Capone would come in, he would sit next to the arrow, and no one could sit left of the arrow between he and the door. So
yeah, you can literally see the notch and the arrow up there.
But we actually use that as one of our marketing pieces.
As you should. I talk about it all the time. It's a cool deal. And I was having that discussion with Fred last night. He thought it came from Arkansas because Al Capone used to go down to Hot Springs and
let Fred think what he wants.
Yes, I get to be right over my mentor. But yeah, all the guys from Louisville media are here today from TV stations, as well as some guy, Andrew Chernoff from Indianapolis. So it's going to be a lot of fun. But getting back to the most important thing, you've also got last year's champion, Patrick Nickel, here speaking, who is
last year was Braden Thornberry, who won. Pat Nichols, the tournament director.
Oh, tournament director, my bad. Yeah. You say he's from Bloomington?
No.
Okay. Where is the guy from Bloomington
Weiler
that played at?
Joe Weiler.
Okay.
Yeah, he's our Korn Ferry representative. He went to Bloomington South, played golf at Purdue, and then I think this is his 3rd year on the Korn Ferry Tour. Great guy out of Bloomington. And we're proud to have him. You know, we actually sponsor 3 guys on tour. We have Adam Schenk on the PGA Tour.
What a name for a golfer.
Oh, he's a great guy. Actually, his family has a sod farm, and we got the majority of our grass here at the Pete Dye course from his dad's farm, which is pretty cool.
Which is where?
I believe it's just south of Washington.
Oh, Indiana.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's here local.
Yeah,
okay.
And Tyler Duncan. He played on the PGA Tour. Another Purdue guy. His wife's from Jasper. He grew up in Franklin. He's a great kid.
Purdue has long had a solid golf program.
Oh, God, yeah.
I mean, they've got 2 top-level golf
courses. 2
courses.
Pete Dye golf courses.
Oh, those are both Dyes.
Yeah. And actually, they have one of the best turf management programs in the United States for superintendents. Russ Apple, our super, went there. So oddly enough, the majority of the people that work here or are affiliated with French Lick are Bloomington-based, so it's out of IU. And then we have the majority of guys we sponsor from Purdue. So who's smarter in that deal?
Hey, when I went to high school, I graduated with a guy named Lenny Hartledge, and he won the 1983 high school state championship. And he ended up going to Purdue. And I was like, what? I mean, you're good. I didn't realize Purdue was that good. But he had offers to Houston, who was also really good.
For golf?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, hell yeah.
And,
Houston back in the day. I mean, geez.
He turned Houston down to go to Purdue because his girlfriend was at Purdue. So he could have been playing with Jim Nantz. Who knows?
He's not that old.
No, how old Jim Nantz is? 65,
Freddie Couples is 65, 66. Yeah.
He would have missed him a little bit.
Yeah, Nance was Freddie Couples' roommate. Kind of crazy.
Yes, it is. Hey, and when you come out here and play, you get a caddy. And
you get a bottle of Hard Truth. Proud sponsor of the Indiana Sports Beat, right?
Previously.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
Take that back. Retract that.
That's okay.
We like those guys.
I love them.
Yeah.
I wish they'd pay, but I love them.
Oh, there you go.
But no, great stuff. It's exquisite. So that's cool. So, yeah, when you play the P-Dye course, you get some gifts. One of those has always been a bottle of bourbon.
Bottle
now
of bourbon,
they've
4
switched to,
cigars.
oh, wow. They've gone to 4 cigars.
Yeah. Well, per foursome. So each guy gets a cigar.
Good thing. I brought extra anyway.
Perfect.
I always do. What does this event mean to the area, to the course, to the resort?
Oh, gosh. When you look at what golf has done for Southern Indiana, you look at just the history of French Lick alone, but since we opened up the Pete Dye course, we've put 18 kids through college through the Western Golf Association Evans Scholar Program. That's one aspect. Other aspect is Golf Gives Back, is our charity for this, and it's building blocks for kids in education. So kids from preschool through like 5th grade, we're giving them funding for books and education purposes. So there's an economic impact of people coming in. There's an educational benefit for people who are here. There's just a bunch of things. But you look at what golf has done for the community around Southern Indiana. The economic impact. We did $11 million in golf last year, and the tax benefit of that alone is purchasing stuff for the community and people.
And again,
that's just golf.
When I said it's hard to get to, it's not hard to get to. It's just not like in a metro area.
But
my point is, everybody, it is worth the hour, whatever it takes. It only took me an hour, and I drove through the country. So, and I loved it. But I love the drive personally.
But from Louisville, I'm an hour and 10 minutes from the Louisville airport.
Which is about 25 minutes longer than it takes you to get through Louisville during rush hour. So if you're working in Louisville, it's a much more scenic drive.
But I
don't want people to think that I'm saying it's hard to get to. I shouldn't have said that. It's not the right thing.
We're right in the middle of everywhere.
Yeah, it's just kind of located in this nice little area out by itself. But I think that's part of the draw, is that you are away from the hustle and bustle of all that stuff. Because when you get out of here, it is, besides the beauty, this place is so peaceful. It's as about as peaceful of a golf course, to be honest, as I've ever played.
Well, after watching you play, it's hard to believe.
I understand that, and he's not lying.
No, but I tell you what, if you look at proximity of places, Indianapolis is 2 hours and change. Nashville, Tennessee, 3 hours and change. Columbus, Ohio, 4 hours. St. Louis, 3.5 hours. So
that's
if you look at a circle around
because
us,
it's a destination place.
We have roughly 25 million people within a 5-hour drive, without even thinking. Chicago, 5 hours.
But how many people out do you get outside of that you have still? Yeah,
Tons.
I mean,
and that was one of the benefits of having the Korn Ferry Championship presented by United Leasing and Finance, and the media day. I'll get that sponsor here soon. One of the benefits is that we have 4 days on Golf Channel, and the top 20 guys get their cards, their tour cards. Last year was 30, so it's a 33% reduction on how many people get their cards. Next year, starting on a PGA tour, they're chopping their number down from 125 players to 100. So that means 25 guys from the PGA Tour are going to be down here next year. So competition's just going to get so much tougher, and getting the cards is going to be so much harder. So
why are they reducing it? It seemed like that they would not. This is not a time to do
with
that.
Their signature events. It's just going to make the Korn Ferry Tour
more competitive.
But it's
I mean,
also
like
good, it's also going to boost up the minor leagues.
That's like taking guys out of MLB and just putting them down to AAA. And because AAA is pretty good as it is. What all goes on? You've got a 4-day event. It's in October. What are the dates?
Ends on the 12th. So the 8th, the Pro-Am started on the 6th, which is that Tuesday. And then championship wraps up on the 12th, which is that Sunday. Friday night, we have, God, I totally spaced out the guy's name who's not Fergie. We have a concert happening.
Oh,
on the 10th.
Is that me? Am I singing?
Yes. Jim Coyle and the Nutcrackers.
And the Fredettes.
and the Predators.
And the Cowgills.
There you go.
More cowgirl. We need more cowgirl.
Yes.
More cowbell.
Yes.
No. Regional guy. How many players from the region are able to make this level of play?
Well, you look at Tyler Duncan. You look at Joe Weiler. You look at Chris Baker, another Indiana guy from Brownsville. Louisville, Josh Teeters from Lexington, Kentucky. A couple guys from Nashville, Rick Lamb. But there's connections in different ways, either through the college ranks, with IU, Louisville, Kentucky, that we try to find. I try to find a common bond with, and University of Illinois in Champaign. Brian Campbell came through last year. I've known Brian since he was a freshman in college when we had the Big Ten championships here in 12, 13, and 14. And now he won twice this year on the PGA Tour. He came through, got his card last year. So it's pretty cool to go out. We do a show, Ryan Ballinger and I do a show called Road to French Lick. 20-minute show every week. We do a recap and a preview of the Korn Ferry and what's to happen. And we try to get interviews with guys. So I've been to like 6 different events this year, just picking up interviews and whatnot. And developing a common bond with these guys. So when they come here, they know, hey, there's Sweeney, and they can come talk to me or whatever. And we'll guide them in the right direction. So, yeah, I think as the local tie goes, our volunteer base, we got a couple hundred volunteers that are very loyal. They show up and they're happy to be here. And thank you if you're a volunteer out there. And
that's another thing. I mean, the employment of the people of this county.
There's 2,500 people in West Baden, French Lick. And at our peak season, which is now, we employ close to 1,200 people. So it's sort of
half the population.
Yeah. And
that's pretty strong.
And that was one of the benefits. And Bill Cook, who was our founder, and sadly we lost Gail Cook the other day, Bill's wife. She passed away after 91 fabulous years. And just a great, wonderful, sweet, just solid person. I've known her for a very long time. I was very sad to see her go. But they had a vision of creating French Lick into a generational economic stimulus for Southern Indiana, and everything that they have done, they've put more than $600 million of their own money into this project, and it's just been nothing but successful. And the people who work here bring it to work every day, and the people who leave here, who visit here, leave with a sense of, wow, this is a really cool community. And there's nothing more that we could ask is for our guests to leave with a positive story.
Everybody that works here that I've ever interacted with seems to really enjoy their job. They seem to enjoy being where they are, and that's a rare thing.
Yeah.
Usually it's like, what time is it? When's 5? Whatever.
Well, we all have our days. We all have our moments.
Well,
right?
but it's. I started to say it's like a community. Well, it is, because you're employing half of the community already, so it is one big community.
Yeah. And we celebrate successes, and we mourn the losses. It's a circle. So
it's just an incredible place to visit. Like I said, there, and not only do you have this beautiful, incredible golf course and the Ross course, you are adding another golf course.
Well, we already added one.
Well, you added one, and then you're going
Creek.
to combine that.
Yeah. So we have Sand Creek, which is our new par 3 golf course, which opened up in May. Oddly enough, I don't want to say oddly enough, but our 3 superintendents each built a couple of holes there, sort of like little replica holes of either the Dye course or the Valley or the Pete Dye course. But the golf course stretches out to 657 yards, which is the exact length of the 18th hole at the Dye course, which is pretty cool. So there's 9 holes. So we get done playing golf up here. Something for buddies to do. Go down there, grab a couple beers, grab a wedge, start beating some balls around. We'll go down there after today and play. And then we have the Valley Golf Course, which is the 1907 Tom Bendelow Golf Course, which at one time was a premier golf course here, stretched out to 7,200 yards. The 9 holes here is now 72 or 3,600 yards. Above that is what we call the Ridge, and it is about 50 feet lower than the Die course, so you're up about 900 feet, and you can see it from the 11th hole.
Wow!
And Chris Litsky, who worked with Pete to move everything up here, is designing that golf course. And we're going to tie in the 2 9s probably at the end of 2027. We're rebuilding the Valley Golf Course, and we're going to have a premier championship golf course opening probably end of 27, beginning of 28. Middle price point between the Die and the Ross, and it's going to be rocking and rolling, man.
So that gives golfers of all kinds different opportunities, men and women. Kids,
juniors,
to play. You have something for everybody, and I'm telling you, it is a destination place to come to. It is just incredible. If you are,
and we have a casino, which we don't even mention.
I was say, even if you're not a golfer, let's say you're a golfer and your wife isn't, she can go down and pull that one-arm bandit all day long.
The cool thing is, for all you Hoosier fans out there, we're an hour and 5 minutes south of Memorial Stadium.
Yeah, I was going to say it.
So for like doing instead of paying $600 a night during a football game at IU during game day, come on down here, you can tailgate down here, drive up, whatever. It's a straight shot right up the new highway, and you can avoid the extra fees up there.
You can bet on the game before you leave, and then head up, and then come back and collect your winnings,
and then you go watch the second round of whatever. Our sports book is killer. We have online gaming too through Bet Rivers. You can check that out too at the website, and just take it from there.
I mean, I remember when they have a moat around it originally because of the old laws.
Yeah.
How dumb was this?
It's now a parking lot.
Yes, they used to have a moat around this casino because the odd water thing.
Well, the part of the deal was there was a dormant license on Patoka Lake. And part of the deal that Bill Cook and Steve Ferguson worked out, and Rob Dembo, Jerry Dembo, is that if that license would move north to French Lick, they would do the renovation.
How in the world was a minute ago when you said that there used to be like 13 casinos in French Lick? Wow, that's great. Little Las Vegas
up until basically World War II, and then World War II started. And then Vegas started.
So was there a casino on Patoka Lake?
I believe there was one close to down there. Yeah.
It's curious. There goes the Wizard of Oz. We'll get him on here.
You going to jump on here soon?
Absolutely. So the rest of your day is you've got to manage all this that's going on. You've got speakers.
I
sit back and enjoy.
Yeah, they have their staff that they're taking care of it. We're the host site. We're here for support, and if they need something,
with all the sellouts, what's a good time for someone to try to sneak down and maybe?
Well, obviously, if you're looking at early week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Today is Tuesday and it's sold out, by the way.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're looking for booking a trip for 26, I'd get on the phone right now and book your buddy's trip.
There's so many husband and wives that I see that play golf. I got one of my best friends, Mark Helmer, and his wife Roberta. They play a lot of golf. This is one of his bucket list places to come. He wants to come here, and I've told him, I go, dude, tell me when you do. I'll go with you. But I said, you've got to go. It's because he's really gotten into the game. Someone that I played high school football with, and I never would have thought of him as getting into golfing. But boy, he's a golfer. His wife golfs. His son golf. He got rid of his slice, and now he can crank it about 290. So
good.
Wish I had that youth in me, but. Appreciate you, my friend, as always.
Always. How about a prediction for last year? I made the bad prediction about IU football.
Yep.
You cleaned up pretty good. Thank you. Go to our sports book located at the French Lick Casino.
I went and cashed that ticket with 2 hours left of its expiration.
Did you realize that?
To God. Yes. I'm like, I got to get down there. Because I was leaving for Puerto Rico for the IU basketball trip.
Oh, okay.
And I literally cashed it at 10 p.m. on the 5th of August, and it died at midnight. So they said, you know that? I go, oh, yeah, I know.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know.
We
Brendan Sweeney, the head of all media and
now golf media.
Golf media. Yeah. Golf media.
There's a fine line that I will not cross.
And he does a great job at it.
Jim, we appreciate it. Yeah. Go Hoosiers.
We'll be talking about Fritz Slick for quite some time. Don't worry.
Yeah. I'll grab a couple other guys here. We can talk some stuff.
That'll be perfect. We've got more coming up from the Pete Dye course at Fritz Slick Golf and Resort. Back with more Indiana Sports Beat Radio right after we take this quick break. If I can get that pulled back up, I can't see. I took my glasses off, so we'll get to it in a second here. But appreciate everybody being with us. Back right after this.
Know a team or group needing a fundraiser? Boost Fundraising raises more money faster and offers the most unique and user-friendly online fundraiser in the nation. Your team receives personalized fundraising pages for each team member. Free team-branded promo gifts shipped to each donor. Boost Fundraising does it all. Sports teams, marching bands, charity causes, and community groups. Go to boostfundraising.com and be sure to enter the promo code COYLE, that's C-O-Y-L-E, to receive a discounted fundraiser. Located on 325 acres in beautiful Brown County, Indiana, Hard Truth Distilling Company is the biggest and the best craft distillery around. While Hard Truth is already known for producing internationally awarded whiskeys and spirits like Hard Truth's sour mash bourbons, sweet mash, and hard road ryes, as well as their cinnamon vodka and the always popular toasted coconut rum. Hard Truth Distillery offers so much more. With a full-service restaurant, ATV, and distillery tours, as well as live music, you can spend an entire day at Hard Truth Distillery while making your entire family or group happy. And that's the Hard Truth. Hard Truth products are available across Indiana, as well as many other states. So no matter where you shop, if they don't carry your favorite Hard Truth product, tell them you want the truth, the Hard Truth. Hard Truth Distilling Company encourages you to enjoy all of their products responsibly and to never drink and drive.
Welcome back. Jim Coyle with you here on this Tuesday. Indiana Sports Beat Radio coming to you from the Pete Dye course at Fritz Slick Golf and Resort in Fritz Slick, Indiana, the home of Larry Legend, ironically.
Brian Hannon.
There, oh, perfect. Didn't recognize him, but I know the name. Brian Hammond. You might know him from PGA TV, but from Indianapolis originally, right?
Anderson originally.
Anderson.
And went to Butler. So
I actually played. I didn't play with him, but I played in a Bob Kravitz has an ALS event.
Mm-hmm.
It was probably 3 weeks ago, but Barry Collier played in it. So I got to meet him, which was very fortunate.
Yeah, I played in that event. That was a good event. Country Club of
You
Indianapolis.
were there?
Yeah, I played in it.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
that's right. I remember hearing your name now, but I didn't know you, and I wish I would have gotten to go up to meet you. There were so many people I would have loved to meet, and now that I do have you, when we're done, I'll get your number because I'd love to get you back on. Do you know Mike Glascott up in Bloomington?
Mm-mm.
He works at WGCL there, but he writes for the PGA Tour. Online.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I was with the Golf Channel for 21 years, so not the PGA Tour.
Right,
but,
separate from that.
Yeah.
How did you get to there from now? Weren't you on TV in Indy?
Yeah, I did local sports in Indianapolis.
I thought.
I started. Well, no, I started at Channel 6 when I was in college, and then went from there. I did IndyCar stuff for ABC and NBC. I did the Pacers television for a while on their broadcast team. And then I started the newscast at Fox 59 as their sports director. But I was following the development of the Golf Channel and all the magazines, the golf magazines. And the guy that ran what was then the senior tour event in Indianapolis, Mark Oldham, saw me on a golf course and said, "Hey, I'm leaving. I'm going down to the Golf Channel." I said, "Well, when you get down there, give me a name of someone I can send a tape to." And so he gave me a name. I sent him a tape, and I'm at a Colts practice one day, and this is before everybody had cell phones in their pockets. The trainer taps me on the shoulder and says, "You got a call in the locker room." So I go in, take the call, and it's the Golf Channel's executive producer, and he says, "Which job do you want? Do you want to do play-by-play, or do you want to host the sports center of our show of our network, Golf Central?" So my son was just born. I didn't want to move my family to a strange city and then be gone for 35 weeks a year. So I took the anchor job. And several years later, I started doing the play-by-play, and that's when we moved back to Indiana. I'm one of the few people, I believe, that moves from Florida to Indiana because we wanted to.
That's true. I always ask that question when that happens. I'm like, why?
I still live in Florida.
Yeah, he's a winter transplant. Lucky that was our good friend Brendan Sweeney that you couldn't see. But and so I have a good friend that went to my high school. He went to IU as well, but he's younger. But he has been doing thoroughbred racing on what now is FanDuel TV for quite some time. It's just amazing how the media market has changed. Although the Golf Channel has been around for a long time, they were kind of ahead of the game. They were one of those that were there early.
One of the first, maybe the first niche network. And that's why without Arnold Palmer's involvement, who was one of the founders, it would have never worked. But with Arnie's influence, it certainly helped. You know, when he calls the president of a cable company and says, "Hey, I got an idea I'd like for you to consider. I want to go play golf." Who's going to say no? You know. So without him, the Golf Channel, I don't think would have worked. But yeah, Golf Channel was the first real niche network. There was no Food Channel or Tennis Channel or anything like that.
I don't know how many golf courses there are in America, but there's a lot. But you cannot go into a golf course clubhouse without seeing the Golf Channel on. First of all, It's like automatic. And then on the weekends, that's where you go to get the networks are good for the coverage. But when you want to find out what's going on behind the scenes, what really happened, who did what, that's where that information comes from.
Yeah, in the early years, it really was a go-to place, because now they're more concentrating on what they say balls in the air golf tournaments. So live golf is where they really concentrate, not so much on the other types of programming like instruction and like we had in the early days, and talk shows like we had in the early days. But things have changed at the Golf Channel, but it's still one-stop shopping.
And it's still must-see viewing. It's the wild thing is a lot of things today, they go in cycles, and boy, another one might come along, and so the Golf Channel has not just sustained itself. It is just slowly. It reminds me of Breaking Bad. When I tell people, if you haven't watched Breaking Bad, I said, it might start slow. I said, but it is a constant rise that doesn't stop for 5 years. Well, that hasn't stopped at the Golf Channel since it started. It is just an entity now.
Yeah, it's come a long way. And I'm proud to have played a small part in the rise of the Golf Channel, because when we first started, I mean, to Mr. Palmer's credit, we were not basic cable then. It was like $6 a month or whatever to put the Golf Channel on your cable packages, and not many people were doing it. And Mr. Palmer a couple times reached into his pocket and wrote a check for payroll to survive.
See, that's the things. And now the rest of the story.
Yeah, so it was touch and go there for a while, and then they decided smartly that we got to go on basic cable, and they did that, and it took off.
Of all people, though, one of the oldest guys around had one of the newest ideas, for technology wise.
Well, it wasn't Mr. Palmer's idea. It was a guy by the name of Joe Gibbs, not the football coach, but a businessman from Birmingham, Alabama.
Well, those damn Joe Gibbs guys are successful.
Yeah, they are. And he had the idea, and he lived in Birmingham, and the senior tour at the time, now it's called the PGA Tour Champions, but the senior tour was playing at his course in Birmingham, and stayed with Joe Gibbs. Arnie stayed with Joe Gibbs, and he got to be friends, and he'd say, "I've got this idea," and Arnie said, "I'm in." But the funny thing, the great story was that, Arnie's sitting around the table with Joe Gibbs and their legal representatives and Arnie's business people, and they're going through, should we do it or should we not? And all of Mr. Palmer's associates said, this is too risky. We don't think you should get involved. And Arnie kind of leaned back and folded his arms and goes, "Boys, if I didn't try to hit it through the trees every now and then, none of us would be here. We're going to do it." So that's what launched the golf.
That makes me feel good. I try to hit it through the trees several times, but most of them are not on purpose, unfortunately. But no, I'm looking forward to playing. When I talk to Brendan every time, I love this place. I call this God's golf course here, the Pete Dye course. I love to
It's been called a lot, but yeah, okay.
Because it's the highest elevation. It's so beautiful. It's so scenic. If you're here in the fall, forget about it.
Oh yeah,
it's mind boggling, man, how beautiful it is. But great course. They've got the Ross course, and very, very challenging. And this is just great for the state of Indiana. As a matter of fact, it's one of the premier courses in the country. A regular course, man, that anybody could go play. You don't find those everywhere.
It's like you parachuted into North Carolina or something. It's not like you can't look out here and think, oh, I'm in Indiana.
No.
And the story about how the course was built was awesome too. You know, Pete Dye said, I can't do it. I can't build a course on this property. Then he goes to lunch with the guys from French Lick, and on a napkin, starts doodling and hands it over and says, here's your course.
Don't they still have that napkin in a frame or something?
Napkin's in a frame, I think, up at the mansion at the top of the hill.
Yeah, I thought that was
and
the
they
case.
said they gave Pete an unlimited budget, and he exceeded it.
Hey, that's pretty hard to exceed an unlimited budget. So, you still live in Indiana. Where do you live in Indiana?
Carmel.
Oh, perfect. Did you happen to attend the LIV event last week?
I went on Sunday. I've got friends that do the television for them, so we met for drinks early in the week, and I was curious, so I went on Sunday, and this was after a massive storm on Saturday night we had up in central Indiana, and you couldn't really tell it. It was wet, but they cleared up all the debris, and but it was packed all 3 days, from what I understand.
The largest event they have had in the United States.
Yeah, and they broke that. They set a record last week in Chicago, and they broke it at Chatham Hills. And my
and it was hot.
Oh man, it was hot. But my question is, how many of those people were there because they were curious, and will they go back next year?
Well,
but it's almost like
Andrew Chernoff, who's here, who works in Indianapolis, a friend of mine in TV, was there, and he said, you know what? He goes, the event was pretty good. And he said it was overall, if you forget about the negativities that goes along with LIV, as the event, it was incredible. And by the crowds, you can see, like, man, like you said, they weathered some storms to get through it and still made it out there. That says a lot.
Yeah,
it's about the popularity of golf in Indiana as well.
Yeah, and they're starved for professional golf in Indiana. You put it, any big event in India, and they're going to go. But it's almost like the party overshadowed the golf. The golf was tremendous. It was the easiest golf course that tour has ever played.
So we talking Phoenix Open here, hole 16?
Well, they've got their party hole. It was 11.
Do they have one on there at every event?
Yeah, they've got a party hole on every event. They take a par 3 and put bleachers around it, a little stadium effect, and it's not quite as big as 16th at Phoenix, but they've got, and the music's blaring, and it's different. If you're a traditionalist,
you won't like that.
It's different.
You might want to skip that hole.
But it's almost like the party overshadows the golf, which I found a little unfortunate, because the golf was tremendous. We had a guy. They said it was the easiest course they've ever played, but Sebastian Munoz shot 59 on Friday with a double bogey.
I do that all the time, but it's unfortunate it's on the front nine.
Exactly. But it was soft, and the scoring conditions were perfect. And then on Sunday, when the heat was on, literally and physically, John Rahm shot 60 to win the season-long competition, and then lost in a playoff to Munoz.
It cost him like $2.5 million, I think.
Well, he only made $18 million for the season long.
Yeah, so it was a rough year for him.
And he made $600 million just to sign up to play on that league.
Rough year.
I'm not sure it was that big of a dent.
And people that question, I'm sorry, I'll be the first one to tell you. You stick a $600 million check in my face, I'm going to be like Ed Orgeron when he was the coach at LSU, and they said, "Hey, we need to make a change here. We'd like to buy you out." And he goes, "Here's the figure. Where's the check? Where's the door?" He said that in an interview, and it was hilarious. I'm like going, That is the truth, man.
Yep.
Well, Brian, I appreciate you taking the time, man. It is a
pleasure.
pleasure to meet you, and I look forward to getting to talk to you a little bit more, to talk to you more in the future, as we broadcast out of Bloomington, but we're on in Evansville and Fort Wayne and up in the region as well. So definitely love to talk to you more, man.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
My pleasure. Brian Hammonds from the Golf Channel. And who's your resident? Who's your native down here for the Korn Ferry Tour Media Day, as the Korn Ferry Championship takes place in October. We'll take a quick break here. Mike Decourcy's going to join us. And let's see, or should I just hold on here? Let me check the we got a few minutes. I'll just hold on to it and see what we can do. But Mike will join us at the top of the hour, and we're going to talk about the Big Ten's CFP playoff idea of basically doubling its size. Oh, and I didn't mention this. Oklahoma, and this is a horrible trend. Post-game pressers are generally media only. The athletics director will be in there, maybe another official or two. That's usually it. Now, I will say for Indiana football, that is no longer the case. There are friends of the coach that are in there. His wife comes in, and she's very involved. She's a great lady as well. She goes to all the radio shows, and some of the fans will end up talking to her. It's great to see, because it tells you how in locked they are with the community. So that makes a huge difference. But getting back to what I was talking about, Oklahoma is going to sell the opportunity for fans to go in to post-game pressers. And I love the pricing, by the way. They have an opening game. I think that's their opener. They're going to open with Michigan. And for that game, for a pair of seats in the post-game presser, $692.11 total for the two. I don't know how that price worked out. I'm really interested to see how this pricing came to be. First of all, just the $692. Why did I just make it an even amount? Might is, if you're going to there, just go $700. What the hell's with the 11 cents? I don't get it. If you want to go to sit in the post-game presser for the Auburn game, well, that's not as much. That only cost you $576.86 for a pair of tickets. So again, the fact that they're doing that is crazy, and people will do that. I promise you. There are people that have that kind of money that it's no big deal, number one. But there are also people that would probably do it as just a fan experience. And it's crazy, but that's where we are in this world of media. Was taught yesterday there's a group that is buying a bunch of TV stations as well. So it's just an ever-changing medium.
We get Ryan Ballingy from Golf Newsnet.
Perfect. Bring him on, baby.
We're back.
Mr. Sweeney's back here at the just finished up talking to Brian.
Brian Hammond's legend.
He's been around Indiana forever.
When I moved to Orlando in 1996, it was the second year of the Golf Channel. And the guy who I worked for in Chicago at Astro Film Labs, his brother, Chris Lincoln, was one of the original directors of Golf Channel. He said, go over and introduce yourself. So I went over to Golf Channel, knocked on their door, and said, we'll do all your extra work that you guys can't do. And we were slammed from it. So that's sort of how I got my foot in the golf business. So besides caddying, growing up in Medina, Illinois, which is great.
How was that?
It was, I was.
Did they have caddy day?
Mondays.
At the pool?
Yeah, but it was
Duty.
It was 19. I was 12 years old. 1979. Caddyshack comes out in 1980. So yeah, I was living a dream. We got Ryan Ballingy coming in right now, owner of Golf Newsnet. Ryan and I do the show called Road to French Lick, and he is everything golf and gambling. He's a big gambler guy.
And people gamble on everything. Ryan, Jim Coyle, nice to meet you, my friend.
Jim, nice to meet you as
Thank
well.
you. Appreciate you taking the time, man.
Of course.
Every time I talk to Brendan, I'm here. I just love just being here. This is just one of those places that I tell people you should just drive here and just get out and walk around.
Oh, yeah.
It is that incredibly beautiful. But so tell us about Golf Newsnet.
So Golf Newsnet is a multi-channel, omni-channel, whatever word we use these days, publication where we have our website, golfnewsnet.com. We have our 24/7 Golf Talk website, Golf Newsnet Radio that we do with iHeart. And we also have Golf Newsnet TV that we do as a 24/7 streaming TV channel. Be a year old in October.
And so how did that get started?
Oh, God. Long story. I'll give you the short story. I wanted to get into this in college and just kind of didn't get a journalism degree and just kind of did this on the side for a long time. And eventually NBC Sports came calling one day and said, hey, we want you to start our golf blog. We've been following you for a while. And 15 years later, I'm somehow still doing this and been doing it on my
Mike
own.
Glasscott?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Good. I asked someone a minute ago and they did, and I'm like, oh, man. But yeah, I know Mike's a great guy.
We've talked fantasy for years. I mean,
he writes for PGA.com,
Yep.
I believe. Yeah.
Yep.
So in addition to being on WGCL up in Bloomington, where most people would probably know him, he's on every day from 3 to 6. So I get to listen to him when I have a chance. But great guy, super
excellent
great guy. But yeah, but this has to be a dream to be able to. It's hard to. I know people don't think that it's work, but it's the actual work that you have to do. It's freaking work. And the days can get stinking long. Even though you're doing something you love, that's probably the only thing that would sustain somebody from doing something like that. Because let me tell you, I know, gosh dang, the days can get long. Like a football game. I'm like, all right, that's a 9 to 10 hour day. I can just, what time to start? Okay, I'll be done like at 8 tonight. You know how long it's going to take. Football games, 3.5 hours, doesn't matter. It's all the other stuff that goes
around it. That's absolutely true.
Same with golf. Anything that makes it more challenging with trying to get things up to date, stay up to date, because you've got usually if it's a game, it's right here. Everything's right here on the field, on the court, whatever. You got 18 different places where 18 times 4 our guys are everywhere. That's so much just to keep up with. It's amazing.
Yeah, Thursday and a Friday when you have 156 players in a field and you're trying to track them on 200 plus acres worth of land, trying to figure out what one person's doing at one time, another doing another, and you can't watch more than 3 or 5 players at once depending on where you stand. It's hard to keep track of, and just try doing it at the Masters where they don't let you have your phone outside of the media center.
Really?
So then you have to just kind of guess where you go with a pairing sheet like they did back in the old days. It's definitely challenging if you're trying to follow a lot of players at once.
My next guest, great guy, Mike Decourcy. Mike right there from Pittsburgh. What are your favorite courses in Pittsburgh? Well, I'll go ahead and bring Mike in since he's there a little early before we take the break. Mike can hear me, so he knows he's coming. Hey, Mike, how are you, brother?
I'm well, Jim. How are you?
I'm good. You can't hear him. He's well. But let me unplug, make it a little bit better. Just sitting here with Rod Ballinger, I was going to ask him what's his favorite courses in the Pittsburgh area since you're a Pittsburgh guy. Now, you're not a golfer, though, right?
I was. My back doesn't love golf, or I love golf more than my back loves it, or something like that. So I haven't played much in a while as a result.
I trust me. I woke up in bed one day like 2 months ago for no reason and could barely walk. And I'm like, and I tried to play golf still and stretch it out. Well, that was a mistake.
Oh, yeah.
That was a bad mistake. So yeah, I don't want to push myself to that point, but I know there are so many great golf courses, but there's Pittsburgh.
Western PA is great. My in-laws live in Latrobe. Well, Derry. So, I mean, even
Isn't that where Arnold was from?
that's exactly where he's from. So I'm a member, out-of-town member, a place called Sunny Hannah up in Johnstown. It's a Tillinghast course, incredible place. They have a amateur tournament every year, the Sunny Hannah Am, that is fantastic. Fox Chapel, I mean, obviously Oakmont, Pittsburgh Field Club. I mean,
Oakmont. Oh, wow.
There's a course in Western Pennsylvania, very close to where his in-laws are from, called Laurel Valley.
Yep.
And it is spectacular. And I will tell you a story. I got to play one time. The golf writer at the Pittsburgh Press got a bunch of us on. I think there were 2 groups of us that went. And it was a beautiful fall day, and there's nothing like a fall day in the Appalachians. So it was perfect. And I hit every single fairway and shot 120 because the greens were like trying to stop the ball on a basketball court.
Well, you must have been at the Donald Ross course.
They were, course. I mean, I hit every single fairway, and then I'd hit a nice floaty shot into the green, and it would go boom, boom, off into bunker, into rough or whatever. 120 hitting every fairway. That's how.
The last time I played the Donald Ross course, which is right up the road, I am virtually positive there was not a single green that I did not minimum 3-putt. Minimum. And I'm not kidding. And I'm like, I was just getting madder and madder because it didn't matter what you did. It's like, this is like a carnival ride, man. It's like, it seems like it was moving as you hit.
Yes.
And the number 8 hole is the absolute worst. It's a par 3, I think, but it just goes down in this deep gully, and it comes back up steep, and then the green is kind of up on a hill, but it's 3-tiered. And of course, I'm going to be on top, and of course, the pin is down in the bottom corner, and you blow on your ball, and it's like it's going off, and I'm like, this is crazy, but beautiful, tough. This course, I'm at Pete Dye right now, and it's just one of the most beautiful places that I've ever been. I love it. Ryan, thank you, brother.
Jim,
where can people find it?
You can find us at golfnewsnet.com, or you can follow us on your favorite social media service. Our handle's Golf Newsnet.
There you go. Make sure you follow that up for all the golfers. Hey, we've got more coming up here at Indiana Sports Beat Radio with Jim Coyle. The great Mike Decourcy, as you can see, joins us next. We're going to talk about the Big Ten's big idea of doubling the college football playoff, which I'll give you some fodder before we go out, Mike. I said, you know what? They might as well go ahead and do it because it's where it'll probably end up anyway. So we'll see how that works out. But we're back with more Indiana Sports Beat Radio on the other side of these messages. If I could ever find them, we'll get there.
The ISC Sports Network is your home for sports content across the Hoosier State. Find us live on TV and streaming or archived on our website and our app. The ISC is your one-stop shop for the content you want to see, including high school sports, college sports, and other great events throughout the year. Subscribe to our streaming service and get access to it all. ISC, local lives here. Know a team or group needing a fundraiser? Boost Fundraising raises more money faster and offers the most unique and user-friendly online fundraiser in the nation. Your team receives personalized fundraising pages for each team member. Free team-branded promo gifts shipped to each donor. Boost Fundraising does it all. Sports teams, marching bands, charity causes, and community groups. Go to boostfundraising.com and be sure to enter the promo code COYLE, that's C-O-Y-L-E, to receive a discounted fundraiser. If you're looking for a new home in the Indianapolis area, you need Cheryl Sizemore from Brick and Ivy Realty. Cheryl Sizemore has over 2 decades of experience, and that could be the difference in getting the home you want in today's tough housing market. Reach out to Cheryl at CherylSizemore@gmail.com or 317-701-0838. That's 317-701-0838. Let Cheryl Sizemore sell or find your new home today. When it comes to apparel and promotions, Freethink has you covered, literally, whether it's 24 or 200 shirts for sports leagues, businesses, or groups. Freethink Apparel and Promotions can also create your very own merchandising store. Freethink Apparel and Promotions did it for Indiana Sports Beat Radio, and they can do it for you. Whether it's screen printing, embroidery, digital printing, promotional products, vehicle wraps, or anything else under the promotional line. See what Freethink Apparel and Promotions can do for you at freethinkapparel.com.
Welcome back, Indiana Sports Beat Radio here on this Tuesday, coming to you from French Lick Golf and Resort, the P. Dye course. It is God's golf course is what I call it, guys. Joining us now, of course, Mike Decourcy from the Sporting News and Coach Griff jumping on. Guys, Coach, how are you?
Good day, and it looks like a beautiful day there in
it's
French Lick, Indiana.
Yeah, well, it looks great, and it is, but just give it about an hour and a half when the oven. I think the oven's already been turned on. It'll just take an hour and a half for it to heat up. It's going to be hot, but
in the Great North, we got storms, big storms going through this morning. So count your blessings.
I think we may get that later on. Mike Decourcy over in PA. Pittsburgh. How's life over in Pittsburgh, man? How have you enjoyed your summer there?
Wonderful. It's been really hot here, but we're finally getting some clement weather. It's really nice. It's going to be mid 80s today. We're not going to see a 90 now for the next week and a half. So we've had a very hot, dry summer, but I think it's turning better.
I think that starts tomorrow for us. Dropping down to the 80s all through the weekend, which is great. I have a golf outing on Thursday, the Never Lose Hoop golf outing. Don't forget that. If you want to play, there goes those. Definitely stop by and support that. The halls that have put that together, the 12th annual that is going on. And they would appreciate any players. Sign up, man. They got a few spots left, and they would love to have you. It's played at the golf club at Eagle Point, and you can just reach out to me or go to golfstatus.com and look that up. Man, Mike, the Big Ten's idea slipped out. From what I read, they weren't happy about this getting out this soon because they wanted to, go around to Greg Sankey to God, of course. They had to talk to God first about that, and that got out before they were able to do that. But I'm of the mind that you know what, it's eventually going to get there. You don't think it will? I just thought, I'm like, you know what, they're going to chip away until, which I think 24 is too many.
It's definitely too many.
I don't think you need that many. I don't think you need 20. 16 is probably 16 is probably a good number.
Possibly justify. That's
I mean, if you don't need to go past 16 to have a team.
Don't really even need necessarily to go to 16.
No, for a team that's capable.
I know why he's doing this, because he sees value in those bid playoff games. Let's call them. The bid for the second place spot or the third place spot, the bid for the fifth place spot. He sees value in that from an economic standpoint. And so look, this 24 thing, my theory on this, Jim, is you remember 2010 when the television contract was coming up for NCAA March Madness. And at the time, they were getting about 700 plus million, whatever the number was. Could have been 7, 10, 20, whatever. But in the $700 million range from CBS to broadcast March Madness annually. And at that point, CBS was, for whatever reason, I don't remember exactly what the economics of it at the time were, but CBS didn't think that they could go to 700 again to re-up. And so ESPN came in and said, yeah, we'll do it. We'll go to the number you want, but you got to give us 96 teams. And that was the deal and it caused an absolute uproar among fans of NCAA basketball, among the media. The late, great John Feinstein went to the NCAA's press conference at the Final Four and just eviscerated everybody the NCAA put up on the panel for even considering this. And then Turner came in and said, okay, we'll partner with CBS and we don't have to go beyond 68. So all of a sudden expansion happened, but it was so much better than the calamitous expansion that was suggested that everybody.
Is that what's behind this push now to expand?
I think that this 24 concept is to make the 4 auto bid concept palatable. It's like, if you don't, we won't go to 24 if you give us this. And I don't know that it's necessarily going to work because he doesn't have to convince. I think part of it is that by going to 24, then you sell ACC and Big 12 on, hey, you get a bunch too. You get more than you get more guaranteed.
You can have as many as you want.
But I think that the idea is to try to make more than anything the multi-bid guarantee palatable. I don't like the multi-bid guarantee, Jim. I don't think it's good for college football. I don't think it's good for the sport. I think there's great suspense in the way it's done now. There are certainly look. I'm not saying that those games, the first and second place game, the third and fourth place game, fifth and sixth place game won't be appealing television when they happen. But I think they will withdraw so much consequence from the regular season that it will damage the sport. That's my analysis.
And I don't disagree with you. I think that the SEC, they'll be behind this because they're Greg Sankey's going to think, oh hell, we can get 8 teams in, or however many they could get in. And I would think that coaches at programs like Indiana, like Illinois, even Ole Miss, there's several in the Big Ten that they're right there, but they haven't crossed that line yet of being considered Oklahoma or Ohio State or Oregon or whatever. And they're like, hey man, this is an easy way for us to get in the CFP, or easier.
Hey, when I was studying math and science in high school, wouldn't I have loved for you to be able to get an A if you scored a 78 on the test? I'd have loved that. It'd been awesome. I would have gotten straight A's all through high school if all I had to do was get a 78 or 75 or whatever. No, an A's an A. That's making it easier to get into NCAA March Madness or the college football playoff. It damages each of those sports by bringing that down. I compared it to the Dean's List. It's like, depends on the school, but it's a 3.5 or a 3.0 or whatever. But if you make it a C average, you're on the Dean's List. It's just not that impressive.
There you go. Jamie says it's like Oprah. You get a bid, you get a bid, you get a bid. We all get a bid. It'll be interesting to see how it goes out, Coach. Who actually votes on this? Is this the presidents?
I would imagine it would be a proposal the athletic directors would give to the presidents of each conference, and then they would probably have some powwow with it as well before it went to an NCAA committee for approval in that regard. So but I mean, I don't know how fast tracking this would be. I mean, I know that they're trying to do a lot of things here within the next 2 years to get things rolling.
And I think that's part of it is they want to, whatever they do, they want to do it in this next changeover instead of doing another change and then making another change.
Right. They want to get it done and going, just like they wanted to go from, 12 to 16 teams, but there wasn't enough agreement. I look at this as being more about appeasement than anything, because when you think about it, a team, let's take Indiana for instance. Let's say Indiana finishes 10-2, and yet, Penn State and Michigan or one of the other ones have two losses as well. Who's going to go in and get the bid? It's going to be the more brand awareness team, Penn State or Michigan. But what this does is enables a team like Indiana that loses 2 games, but still is a good football team, a chance to get into, the playoff per se. I'm not saying I agree with it, because then you're also going to have teams with 3, 4, and 5 losses potentially getting bids into a tournament. And it does look like the Oprah Winfrey tagline of everyone gets to bid. It's that, like everybody gets a trophy type of thing. But it eliminates all the championship games, which
I was going to say, Mike, that part of this proposal is.
But it wouldn't, Coach, because you're still going to have those play-in games for the auto bid. So one of them's for first, so it's still a conference championship game. I mean, that's the driver behind all this, is to try. It's the Big Ten's concept of having those tiered playoff games to get in. Because they think that there's value in it. And as I said, I can see that part of it. I know that would be a heck of a weekend, but I just think it would take so much away from the prior 10, 11, 12 weekends.
No, I agree with you wholeheartedly that the regular season maybe becomes a little less important in the grand scheme of things, because at the end, you're going to have the opportunity to quote unquote play into these games. But the other thing I think gets lost in here, and I'm going to go through my years as why I got into college coaching and stuff, is we're starting to lose sight of the reason why these kids go to college. One is to get a college degree. Now we're paying them now, which is a different scenario, but we're fastly approaching an NFL model in P4 football. And I know there was an article written the other day that was talking about that exact same thing, about adopting an NFL type of thing where you have all the different divisions, you reshuffle the deck with the conferences and teams that are in it, and then you have like an NFL style playoff system. But it's getting to the point now where some of these ideas I think are a little bit ridiculous in that regard. And I would not think that the presidents would approve of something of this. But again, money says a lot of, it makes a lot of talking go away when you realize how much money that this was ultimately bringing into the coffers.
And the listeners will have to excuse us a little bit. We're bouncing around a little bit. I'm down here live at the Pete Decourcy at French Lake Golf and Resort for Media Day for the Korn Ferry Championship Tour. Joining me now, Dave Harner. He's been there for a year or two. Started out as a bag boy 49 years ago, Mike Decourcy from the Sporting News with us, and Coach Griffith. But I'm down here for this event, but you've worked in so many of these huge events. We're talking about possible expansion of college football, but sports in general is the change that has gone through in the last couple of years is mind-boggling crazy.
Well, golf's become popular again for us, and it's I guess all over the country it's become popular. I think that social media, good, some of those things have really contributed to that. Now you're kind of in a transition spot because the younger guys that are 35 to 40 or under, they got the music going and they're having a good time and smoking cigars. And then you got the country club member out there amongst them. It's kind of a tough marriage to sell.
With NIL, golf is not like a huge sport at a lot of schools, but are there guys that you know of that are making some change NIL wise that are golfers?
Yeah, I know. We have one in Indiana that I know for sure. I won't name the name, but he got a pretty nice check to play golf for a known school.
I wish that was me.
They've seen us play, Jim. So.
Oh, the money these athletes make now, Mike, it's mind-boggling. I was talking to a friend of mine that's here that where the high school he works at, there's a kid that's going to Northwestern. He's going to make $500,000 to go to Northwestern and get a Northwestern degree on top of that. I think a lot of that gets lost today because of all the transferring and all that. But there are these kids have opportunities to set themselves up for life.
Yeah, and it's one of the reasons why, Jim, I've always been an advocate of as the schools go into this, one of the things that they ought to do is financial literacy education. I was blessed to have a father who helped me along with that. My father was into the market and that sort of thing, sold mutual funds on the side for a while. He was in the steel business, but so I was lucky in that sense. So I understood when I got, but I only understood a little. And I only had a little to understand. But if someone handed me $500,000 when I was 20 years old, I'm not saying I'd have been stupid with it, but I don't know that I would have known how to be smart with it either. So I want to see more schools that are taking care of their athletes by exposing them to, hey, here's what a 401k is, here's what a SEP IRA is, here's what a Roth IRA is, all that kind of stuff, because they need to protect a lot of this money in order for the experience to have been valuable.
Yeah, the only market my dad knew about was the one he sent me to on the weekends to go to drink or whatever. But yeah, and golf has always been a sport that pays well if you get to the top. And like this Korn Ferry Tour, which the championship is what we're here for, the media day for the event that's coming up in October. This is, man, these guys are going for these tour cards. It's like the Willy Wonka golden ticket.
Well, 3 of our players from last year's championship have had some great success. Aldrich Potgieter, he's won $3 million on tour. He won the Rocket Mortgage Classic. Brian Campbell won, I believe, the Mexico Open and the John Deere. He's over $3 million. And then Jackson Suber has won over $1 million. So there's 3 players that came directly from here that have already won $7.5 million a year.
And it's nuts. They're set for life. But it's a grind. These guys that are on this tour, it's a grind because you are going up against all of the players you're already. And then earlier when Brendan was here, he said they're going to reduce the tour cards.
Right.
So now you're going to have more former tour players down on this level.
Right. And you're going to see, and it's a matter of a couple of putts falling for a lot of these guys, whether they make it or whether they don't. It's that bubble that's really tough to get above. And it's one day of missing a shot or two can take you out for the entire year.
Dave has been with Fred Slick for 49 years, man. Started out as a bag boy, like I said, and now he is. Earlier when he wasn't with us, I said, I consider this place Oz. It's so gorgeous. And this is the Wizard of Oz. This is the guy behind the curtain that quietly makes it all happen. He walks very quietly, but he carries a big stick, let me tell you.
Somebody said, that started as a bag boy and now is director of golf. Been in a few awards deals with the PGA, but in this business, it's easy to get back to your roots because I still find myself washing the cart every now and then. Yeah. And I say everybody wants to be me except me.
Yeah. And we're not talking about just taking care of golf. This is $11 million in golf last year, I believe. That's a lot of players, man. That's a lot of play.
And we'll eclipse that by about 30% this year.
Which is mind-boggling, and that it continues. Everything is going up, except for my paycheck, unfortunately. I've got to have a conversation with my boss. Unfortunately, I work for myself, so that's not going to go very far. It's not going to go very far. But Dave, what's up for you today? Do you get to relax and then take this in?
Getting ready to do the media event in here in a few minutes, and then from there, I'm going to be going down to the construction site where Brendan probably mentioned we're building. A new 9 holes down at our course near the hotel, and going to expand and completely renovate it. Going to have a 3rd championship course here in a couple of years. So that's a project that I kind of set as my target to retire. I want to see it open, and then after that, I'm good.
But you won't go far away, I don't think, would you?
Well, maybe
Florida calling.
Maybe a little farther south.
I was gonna say Florida calling. I can hear you, buddy. Well, I better let you get back in there. I know it's getting ready to start. Great to see you as always, and thank you so much as always. It is a championship level presentation for everything you guys do.
I'm pretty proud of it, and better things to come.
I can't wait, man. Looking forward to it.
Appreciate it.
Dave Harner from French Lick, the director of golf. I've got Mike Decourcy with us. And, Coach, we'll go ahead and take a break. And when we come back, we'll get back to our conversation about the college football playoffs. We're back with more Indiana Sports Beat Radio right after this message.
Know a team or group needing a fundraiser? Boost Fundraising raises more money faster and offers the most unique and user-friendly online fundraiser in the nation. Your team receives personalized fundraising pages for each team member. Free team-branded promo gifts shipped to each donor. Boost Fundraising does it all. Sports teams, marching bands, charity causes, and community groups. Go to boostfundraising.com and be sure to enter the promo code COYLE, that's C-O-Y-L-E, to receive a discounted fundraiser. Located on 325 acres in beautiful Brown County, Indiana, Hard Truth Distilling Company is the biggest and the best craft distillery around. While Hard Truth is already known for producing internationally awarded whiskeys and spirits like Hard Truth Sour Mash Bourbons, Sweet Mash, and Hard Road Ryes, as well as their cinnamon vodka and the always popular Toasted Coconut Rum. Hard Truth Distillery offers so much more. With a full-service restaurant, ATV, and distillery tours, as well as live music, you can spend an entire day at Hard Truth Distillery while making your entire family or group happy. And that's the Hard Truth. Hard Truth products are available across Indiana, as well as many other states. So no matter where you shop, if they don't carry your favorite Hard Truth product, tell them you want the truth, the Hard Truth. Hard Truth Distilling Company encourages you to enjoy all of their products responsibly and to never drink and drive.
Welcome back, Indiana Sports Beat Radio on this Tuesday. Jim Coyle with you, and along for the ride is Mike Decourcy from the Sporting News and Coach Griff with us. Don't forget to get your subscription to thehoosier.com on 3. It comes with a year-long subscription to The Athletic, in addition to special deals on IU team merch and things like that from Academy Sports and Outdoors, where we carry all the gear you need from the top brands at all the prices you'll love. And now shopping at Academy is more convenient than ever. They offer free assembly and on things like the bikes and anything else you could make or purchase there. And they will also take care of you in any other way with curbside pickup on academy.com orders. Want to save even more? Open up a Academy Sports Course credit card, get 5% off. So make sure you go there. You get all that in one spot. I can't believe I got through all that. Mike Decourcy from the Sporting News and Coach Griff with us. We were talking about this playoff expansion possibility. What do you think, Mike, the possibility is? I mean, how is this something you see happening?
I think it's unlikely. I do think that the concept is to either get everybody on board to this, or to get enough emphasis onto the prior plan to go to 16 with 4-4-2 and at-larges. 4 bids for the SEC, 4 bids for the Big Ten, 2 each for the Big 12 and ACC, and then the others as at-larges. And I think that's really what the Big Ten wants. But I don't think either of those right now is likely, because I don't think you look at the other leagues, they haven't really been really supportive of this. They want to, I think part of it is they want to see where this goes. How does it work? How does the current system work? They've only had a year in it. And we really haven't even had a year in the proper system, which is the proper seeding, not the auto seeds to the 4 power conferences, but teams seeded according to strength, as well as the 5 auto bids. We haven't seen that yet. I think it's going to be spectacular. Last year was the best college football season of all time, and I think this will be better.
I agree. I loved I said it all year long. It's the thing about expansion. I could see some expansion. 16, I think, is the max, because with NIL and transfer portal, there are just better teams. There are more teams that are capable. I don't know that there are that many more teams capable of winning a national championship. It seems like those are still in a smaller group, but you never know. That's why they play the games, Coach.
Yeah, I mean, the transfer portal is giving, I guess, a little bit of more parity in the leagues from top to bottom, I would say. The one thing that I think takes you see these articles where they only have X amount of starters back. Well, how many starters did they bring in via the portal from other teams? So that doesn't hold as much weight as it once did. And I see that quoted quite a bit in some of the writings that I've read, especially against Indiana. They only bring back 8 starters from their team of 11-2. Well, how many good starters do they bring in?
But I saw a stat that said they bring back 62% of their production.
Yeah,
which I was like, how's that possible with losing a quarterback that threw for over 3,000 yards?
Right. But I just think with the portal now, it just is made college football have a little bit more parity. And you're correct. There's still that upper echelon, I guess you could say, of teams, but the distance between that level and what's next I think that gap has closed. More so than it was maybe 4 or 5 years ago. And that's the one thing that I think the portal has done for teams all across the country.
Fred asking, how would this affect bowl game process? Well, it's going to have a similar effect as what the CFP has had, although they have been able to integrate some of those bigger bowls. I don't think that they would do that with this. It would just be regular games. So, you're going to have teams that get beat early in the playoffs that don't go to a bowl game. So you're going to lose some quality teams out of the bowls. It'll work itself out, I guess. But what do I know how they're going to do it?
Well, I think the bowl system has become increasingly irrelevant. It never was an ideal circumstance for college football to sell its postseason to third parties in distant markets and to reap fairly little financial reward for it. College football allowed it to happen. No one ever stepped in between that, but now it's happening. They still are using some of those cities for the later rounds of the tournament, which I think is fine. But I don't think that any of us is going to miss the Bahamas Bowl. If it goes away, it's just I don't
quick lane bowl, but the quick lane bowl in Detroit. I mean, that's like it's a must see game.
Yeah, I think the bowls are people like watching football on TV. So if it's on, people will watch it. But I don't think that it's something that is a great loss if that's where we end up.
And it really got weakened the more year after year when players started opting out. That started and that became a thing. And then it was like, who cares now? It's pointless. Then though, NIL brought them back, but now this is going to kind of, but people will look for matchups. They don't care if they're playing in the Tony the Tiger Fruit Loops Bowl, or it's the matchup that they want to see. I mean, and these playoff games are intriguing. Again, 16 would be great, but I don't see it more than that. It's like adding more teams to the NCAA basketball tournament right now, when last year you had to shoehorn teams into the thing that was worthy of being in it.
You mean like North Carolina? You're not naming any names, right?
I'm not going to name any names, Bubba Cunningham, but I'm sorry. Did I mention the athletics director who made a bonus for getting his team into the tournament? Yeah.
You mean Bubba, the guy that fired me at Ball State back in the day in his first?
Is that the same guy?
That's Bubba.
Oh, wow. You got fired by Bubba Cunningham?
Good old Bubba.
What? Wait a minute. You've held on to that all that we talked about all this stuff last year, and you held on to that.
Yeah, Bubba's first job in college athletics was as AD was at Ball State back in 2002, and I remember sitting on the bus with him on the way back from our last game against Marshall, and he asked me where I was going recruiting, and I said I'm heading to Florida on Monday. And he says, well, I want you to go there and whatever you need, you let me know. I want you to stay in the, nice place, blah, blah, blah. And I said, I appreciate that. And in 48 hours, that went from, get everything you can to, hey, don't get on that flight quite yet.
Oh, wow.
So our staff, he ended up letting our staff go that year, and I've known Bubba for that, and I don't bring that name up around my wife.
Oh, you know what? We're gonna have this conversation again tomorrow, probably, or Thursday rather. I can't wait. Mike, what's up next for you, my man?
Well, I'm working on some college football stuff. Week 0 is next week. Hard to believe, but I'm working on a piece about a prominent coach with Indiana ties, and I'll leave it at that. It's not the one you think of immediately, but prominent coach with Indiana ties and what his future holds. I'll leave it at that for now.
Prominent football coach?
Yes, I said football. Yeah,
with Indiana ties. Is he a head coach?
Oh yeah, of course.
And so we're not
writing about assistant coaches at this stage.
Well, we're not talking about Kalen DeBoer here.
Does he have Indiana ties?
He coached. He was the offensive coordinator at Indiana 2 years ago.
Yes.
When they had Michael Penix, which is why Michael Penix ended up out at Washington.
Right. I'd forgotten about that. Yeah, it's not about him, but that's a good story because it's a big year for Kalen. Absolutely. Because at Alabama, they don't give you any time to get adjusted, obviously. He had 1 year, it didn't go great, and they're like, did we make the right call? The guy's won everywhere he's been.
Yes.
And
I mean, won. He won. He wins. He didn't have his own people. He had a quarterback that was not his type of quarterback. I mean, look at the offense he ran and runs, whether at Indiana or at Washington. Throwing the ball, man. They get after you, and they just didn't have that. It was a different setup at Alabama, but it's going to be a different look for Alabama fans too. I think it's going to be like Iowa basketball, the change that they're about to go through from Fran McCaffrey to this style now. So it's going to be, lots of changes coming up. Well, brother, thank you as always.
Thanks,
thank
guys.
you for dealing with all the changes today. And we're down here at French Lake, so I really appreciate you being so amenable and helpful as you always are.
Enjoy the rest of the day. I will see you next week.
Thank you, sir. Coach, appreciate you as always as well. I will see you at least on Thursday or tomorrow. Perfect.
Well, no, wait a minute. Tomorrow's Wednesday, isn't it?
Yeah,
I'm losing it already.
It's all right. Well, we'll see you on Thursday regardless.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you, sir. And I appreciate each and every one of you. I want you to go out and have yourselves a great day. We're back tomorrow to do this all again, of course, back in studio. Then on Thursday, we'll be at the Never Lose Hoop golf outing. Until then, I'm Jim Coyle. I will see you on the radio.
Thanks for listening to Indiana Sports Beat Radio. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube page for more clips and team coverage of Indiana basketball, football, and more. You can also find full episodes and tons of other content on thehoosier.com. We'll see you next time for another edition of Indiana Sports Beat Radio.
I went 2 minutes long, but the gap that needs to be edited out where I was muted might cover that. Period. Thank you so much. I went 2 minutes long. But the gap where I was muted and needs to be edited out might cover that. It's right after the Signetti interview in the 30-minute area, period. And I think I only took 4 breaks today. I think I was shy 1 break in the first hour, not that it matters. Period. And don't forget, Fort Wayne is an hour and a half today. And Thursday. Shooky dooky doo dooby doo doo dooby dooby doo.